magic.
Welcome to Food Magic, the show that explores the origins, the nutritional value, and those old wives' tales of food. But more importantly, I get to show you guys how to cook in the kitchen and how to bring out the best of those flavors. I'm Nadia Hing, and in this episode, we'll be learning about that vegetable that magically turned into a carriage and took Cinderella to the ball. That's right, it is the pumpkin. As you may know, pumpkins are well known for being carved out as jack-o'-lanterns every Halloween as decorations. But they're not just good for decorational purposes, they also have a lot of nutritional value as well. See, not that scary, huh? That's right. So let's go enjoy and explore the magnificent world of pumpkins.
The name pumpkin derived from the Greek word for large melon, which is pepon. The French changed the word pepon into pompon, and from there the English changed it into pompion. Pompion was then, of course, changed by the American colonists into what we now know as the pumpkin. Pumpkins were believed to have originated in Central America over 7,500 years ago. The first pumpkins held very little resemblance to the sweet, bright orange variety that we are all familiar with. The original pumpkins were small and hard and bitter flavored. Rather than using their nutritional and readily available seeds, pre-Columbian natives grew pumpkins for their flesh.
Well, did you guys know that the average pumpkin in the supermarket weighs about as much as a bowling ball? However, professional pumpkin growers have taken this to new extremes. In 2013, a man in California broke the world record for the largest pumpkin, and I'm talking about massive. It came in at 921 kilos. That is insane. It grew to nearly the size of a small car. But you know what? If you want something a little bit smaller, well, you can always try out the Japanese pumpkin. This is a little bit more firm and just as tasty. You might confuse this for a papaya or maybe even a dumbbell. Well, don't be fooled. This is the Australian butternut pumpkin. And as you can see around me, there's a whole variety of pumpkins out there. The next time you want to create a pumpkin dish, be adventurous. Well, you know what they say, pumpkins are a versatile bunch. The people in the West love pumpkins, and hence there's a whole multitude of exciting recipes to choose from. Pumpkins are especially in high demand during holiday season because in Western culture, they're consumed during Thanksgiving, Christmas, and of course not forgetting Halloween when they're carved into those scary jack-o'-lanterns. Ha ha ha. Well, now that we know pumpkins are so versatile and can be used for so many different recipes, let's go give it a try. Welcome to my Food Magic kitchen yet again, and today I'm very excited to present to you a special dish which, you know, pumpkin is usually renowned for its savory dishes, but we actually have a very nice traditional Malay dessert which we're going to introduce to you guys today. So I'm just going to turn on the flame once again, put it on a small low fire. All right, so what we've got in here is our parboiled pumpkin sweet potato. It's time now to add the other ingredients. So this is really, really nice. We're gonna add half a cup of sugar, let's say. some nice pandan leaves. I love the smell of pandan. That's gonna create a really, really nice aroma. Gula Melaka. This is just gonna add a really nice natural sweetness. And I've just pre-cut some of it already. You wanna add maybe 4 to 5 full pieces. Let's just give it a quick stir in there, all right? And now we're gonna add in some cinnamon sticks. Cinnamon is really good, it aids with the digestion. Oh my gosh, I love that. To me, it always smells like Christmas. You know, pumpkin and cinnamon, you can't go wrong. Next, we're gonna add a pinch of salt. So this is just to balance out the flavors a little bit. Okay, that's probably a little bit more than a pinch, but we do have a lot of pumpkin in there. Now we're gonna dive right in with a fork and just sort of poke your pumpkin, make sure everything is nice and soft. Perfect. It's boiling, which means that it's time to add in the final ingredient. We're gonna add in some santan. There's about 200 ml. Well, we're gonna add in about 200 ml, and this is gonna give it a nice, rich, creamy flavor. All right, so here goes nothing. Ooh, look at that. It's transforming it. Watch those colors. There we go. So the Malay name for this is actually Sarawak. If you want to boast about this and show off your cooking skills, trust me, you can't go wrong with this. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to let it cook for a short while more and make sure you put it on a low flame because it's really important. You don't want to break up that santan. All right, that said, it's time to serve up my Sarawak. You guys ready for this? I have a good feeling this is going to taste delicious. There you go. Perfect for a nice rainy night in front of the television. It's entirely up to you. Tweak it according to your taste and voila, the perfect dessert. Such a simple dish, but what an explosion of flavors. Don't go anywhere, I'm gonna be right back. But first, I'm gonna have another bowl.
Magic. Food magic.
Welcome back to Food Magic. Did you know that a cup of mashed cooked pumpkin actually contains more than 200% of the daily recommended intake of vitamin A? You're essentially going to have superpower eyesight. Okay, maybe not quite, but it is pretty handy when it gets dim.
Pumpkins which are grown in Malaysia are most probably from the species Cucurbita moschata. This fruit is believed to be originated from Central and South America. However, it's now widely grown in Malaysia. It's planted commercially in the East Coast states of Kelantan, Terengganu, Kedah, and even Selangor. From 2004 to 2009, around 8,050 tons of pumpkin were produced annually. Once the roots begin to show through the bottom of the pot and seedlings are ready for transplanting, just transfer them to the field. They require moist and well-drained soil as well as plenty of sunlight. Pumpkin patch farmers require a lot of persistence when it comes to harvesting pumpkins, as the climate in Malaysia can make it a little bit difficult for them.
Clearly, growing a pumpkin takes a lot of tender, loving care. And now that we know how they're grown, let's get cooking.
Hi, I'm Chef Han. I'm from Simply Green Salad, and today I'm going to show you how to make roasted pumpkin soup. That's really nutritious. It's full of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and also high in fiber. Okay, let's begin. Get your raw pumpkin. Take off the skin, as we do not want any of the skin in the soup. Then move on to take away the seeds. Once you have taken away the seeds, just slice them thinly. Season it with a little bit of oil. Okay, just a little bit of a drizzle. Mix this around. Can get a little bit of salt to sprinkle on top. And then we put it in an oven that's been preheated to 220 degrees and let it roast in it for about 15 minutes till it caramelizes. And here we have butter. We're going to put in the butter, lower down the heat a bit. Then we could put in the aromatics. So right here, onion first. Add in the garlic. So we add in the celery, the onions and the garlic. When they caramelize, they give this really, really gorgeous nutty flavor to it. At the same time, we can put in some fresh thyme. You're welcome to use dried thyme, but I prefer the fresh ones. Add our chicken stock. So right here, I've already had pre-made chicken stock. That's about 1 liter. You can pour that in and let it simmer away. The pumpkin has broken down. All the ingredients have softened. And I think right now it's ready to be blitzed. We use a hand blender for this. But for now, I'm using this with a metal attachment, so this is quite safe. Just gently blitz it till it becomes smooth. We want this to be a nice smooth soup. We put in the cream. I have about 1/2 cup of cream here. It's up to your preference how much cream that you want to be in the soup. I think the soup is done. We're going to let it simmer again because we just added the cream in. We're just going to let it simmer. Now before we forget it, let's season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. A little bit of salt. I'm using white pepper for this as I do not want to spoil the color with the black pepper. Now the soup has thickened. You can see it simmering already. Right, and now the soup is ready. We're going to pour it into a nice bowl. Look at how nice that is. Here I have a little bit of cream just to shake it up to thicken it. Give it a nice little bit of pattern. Of course, garnish it with a little bit of thyme on top. And remember, I had some leftover pumpkin. And put it on top as well to float it on top, just to give it a little dash of pumpkin chunks.
A simple yet elegant dish, plus it's absolutely delicious. It's a perfect dish for a lazy cook because usually delicious dishes are deemed to be the unhealthy ones. But you know what? In this case, pumpkin is low in calories, so it's perfect for the health conscious. Well, with that, I'm going to leave you for the time being, so stay tuned.
Food magic. Food magic.
Welcome back, food lovers. Well, you know what? I've decided pumpkins are absolutely spectacular. I mean, after all, that's the reason thousands of dishes are dedicated to the pumpkin. So, since that's the case, I think it's time we also explore some real magic. So, let's get creating.
So today we're gonna make pasta. What's the pasta about? We are basically doing pumpkin feta cheese pasta. Just gonna put all the ingredients in. It doesn't matter which comes first. Crushed garlic, capsicum, parsley, rosemary, lemon zest, dried rosemary, And of course, the lemon juice. Basically, we just use 1 teaspoon. So, before we heat all this ingredient into the oven, we have to make sure the oven is preheated to 160 degrees. Or else, you don't want this to cook from rock coal. It's not gonna taste good. For 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes, it's done. This is basically half-cooked pasta. It's not even al dente, so we're gonna make it al dente. Now, make sure the water is rolling ball. You're gonna put in the pasta. You roll it a little bit, less than 10 seconds, off the fire. Then we're gonna bring the pasta out. All right, now the pasta is out. We have to drain every single drop of the water because it's not gonna taste good. All right, now the pasta is done. All right, now 15 minutes is up. We're gonna bring all the ingredient out and put the pasta in and toss before it's ready to serve. Wow, it smells good. Look at it. Everything's done. We're gonna put the pasta in. Pasta in, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then we toss it to mix everything into the ingredient. Right. Feta cheese in. Make sure every single bit of the pasta is churned with the oil, or else, the flavor is not there. All right, now it's done. Bring it up, put on the plate. Lastly, like I mentioned just now, is the rosemary leaf. Just like that. Voila. Now you have a pumpkin feta cheese pasta.
I gotta say, that was a perfect, hearty, filling meal.
Like their orange comrades, the sweet potato, the carrot, and the butternut squash, just to name a few, pumpkins boast the antioxidant beta-carotene, which may play a role in cancer prevention, according to the National Cancer Institute.
My oh my, pumpkins are super beneficial for our bodies. So if you are health conscious, trust me, they're going to be your new BFFs. That said, I think it's time to check out some more cool recipes. Welcome to Illusions. This is the segment where we teach you to disguise your food as something that your body always craves. From sweets to savory, I'm about to teach you how to make some pumpkin soup. All right, this is a very, very simple recipe. And, if you are really lazy at home, this is one of the quickest dinners you can make for yourself. So I'm gonna start by turning on the fire. There we go. All right, we're gonna add a little bit, make sure it's on a low heat. We're gonna add some olive oil and a little bit of butter. And what this is gonna do is just help it give a little bit more of a nice rich and salty flavor. All right, there we go. Just let that sort of simmer away for a short while. And we're gonna chuck everything inside now. Now it's really easy peasy lemon squeezy. So we're gonna start off with our caramelized onions, right? And then our garlic, followed by our carrots. Just make sure you don't let it spit out back at you. Keep a fair distance. All right, let's turn this around. There we go. Some salt for flavoring as well, for seasoning. Since we already have our pepper in there, we're just gonna add a bit of salt. And don't forget, if you want to, you can actually do your chicken stock from scratch, or you can buy the chicken stock cubes. This is a really important ingredient. We've already pre-made this, and we're just gonna add this. This is gonna thicken the broth and really give it a nice flavor. If you've ever made soups before, it's really important to have a good stock. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. This is a really easy to use one. I mean, if you don't have one of these, you can actually use a different type of food processor as well. Check it out. That is the business. Like I said, this is really something that I'm looking forward to having in a little while. So we're gonna add a little bit of water just to make sure it's a little bit more fluid and not too mushy. But again, it's entirely up to you. If you like that consistency, and the good thing about pumpkin is that it's a slow releasing carb. It's really healthy, it's really good for you, and it keeps you feeling full for longer with a lot lower calorie count. And like I said, if you want to, you can always keep the rest of it in the freezer. It doesn't have to go to waste. I'm gonna add a touch of cilantro for our final finishing touches. Well, folks, we've come to the end of another episode, and I'm going to go home and see if Cinderella's coach has turned back into my pumpkin. This is Food Magic. Until the next time.